Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And I'm your host, Tyler Spencer. Here we are. This took way too long to set up, but we're back again, guys. We're going to do the whole, hold on. I couldn't get this to work before. I want it to be auto, but it's either on or off for some reason. Okay. But anyway, we're doing it again. Yeah, I'm driving back to my apartment in South Carolina. My keys are all, I have too much stuff on my keychain. This is great for a podcast audio. Just me coughing into the microphone, the jingling of my keys in y'all's ear. But here we go. That actually looks kind of sick. All right. But yeah, making the 3.5 hour drive back. And I guess this is just how it's going to be if I'm going to live like far from home. I don't know. I've told people that I live 3.5 hours away from home and they go, "What? That's like nothing. What do you mean that's far?" And then I tell other people and they're like, "Oh my God, I could not even drive 10 minutes. You're driving so much." So I don't know if 3.5 hours is far, but it's far to me. And if I'm going to live far from home, I guess I just got to get used to this shit because, you know, the holiday season is here. I come back on a weekend when I don't have school for Thanksgiving. And then I have to come back for like some kind of friends party we have. Then I got to come back the next week for like a family event. Then I got to come back the next week because we're doing Christmas with my grandpa. Then I got to come back the next week because it's actual Thanksgiving, or not actual Thanksgiving, actual Christmas. And we're doing it like for real Christmas on Christmas Day. And then I got to come back the next week for New Year's. And it's like, oh man, I guess all of November and December I will be driving back and forth. But this was the first time that I decided to record this podcast. Oh! Camera fell a little bit. Y'all can't even see anyway. Hi. I set up the camera a little differently to try and prevent it from doing exactly what it did, but anyway, yeah. So, oh God, no, not again. I forgot what I was saying. I think I was kind of done anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to be making a bunch of, this was the first time I decided to do it to a podcast while I drive. And I mean, I thought the other one was a success. I watched it back and, you know, I edited it, threw it up, and I thought it was kind of fun. You know, there weren't too many crazy noises from the road, and aside from the minor technical difficulties here and there, it was great, and it was almost 3 hours, and I mean, who knows if it was entertaining, but who gives a fuck? I would love to be putting out that much content on a weekly basis. It's just when I'm not preoccupied driving like this, it's hard for me to go for that long, because if I'm just sitting there just talking in my room or something, it's a lot harder to keep going for a while, if that makes sense. And I know the camera fell. We're just going to have to do it like last time where I wait till I'm on the highway to really adjust to this thing. But, you know, this is avant-garde. This is a little more interesting. But yeah, what'd you guys think of the last episode? What do you think of me doing this again? I'm going to be driving back and forth for the next few weekends. So, hey, all of December I might just have crazy long episodes and it be in my car because, I don't know, it's fun. It helps me pass the time. Normally I need to listen to music or a podcast, and I will usually run through all the podcasts I have saved. I listen to an unhealthy amount of podcasts in a day, and especially when I'm driving like this, it is just exacerbated. I will listen through every podcast I have, and then I'll be bored for part of the trip because I'll have nothing to listen to. And I mean, I will listen to music, but I don't know. I read somewhere, and I can kind of, maybe this is all in my head, but I feel like this is backed by science, that when you listen to a podcast, it activates a certain area of your brain. Oh, the camera fell on me that time. Oh, God. Damn it. Oh, okay. Guys, this is not going well. The highway could not get here soon enough. Okay. The new way I set up the camera, worst way so far. Jesus Christ. Man, where was I? No. Music. I listen to music, but it doesn't sustain me. Man, I'm so sorry, guys. Worst podcast of all time. This is why I wish I had a co-host or somebody to just like run the sound for me. I would love to have somebody doing sound bites at some point, but who knows? I'm really hesitant to get this thing to, and by the way, we're on the highway for a bit, so I'm gonna fix the camera, even though y'all can't even see anything. Maybe I'll just fucking leave this on. Yeah, just driving down the highway, someone looks over and sees this. Me holding up a microphone with a camera pointed at me. Yeah, I'm hesitant to make this much more of a production because it's already too much work. You know, I wanted to keep this as low maintenance as possible. I wanted to literally make it like this. Like, if I'm in the car, I could just throw this shit on and just make this while I'm driving and then throw it up online. It would be a lot better if my camera didn't shut off every like 15 to 20 minutes. Just like, why does that happen? I think it's something to do with like when you're filming a video on a camera, there's only so much memory it can send to the SD card at once or something like that. I don't know. Well, then if that's the case, how do GoPros record for like hours? Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the software, but I have to constantly keep turning this camera back on, and it creates like 5 different video files, which then I have to throw into this video editing software I have, chop it up, sync up the audio, because I'm not going to leave in the parts where I'm like, beep, let me turn the camera back on. Or when I have to change the battery and I have to take it off the tripod, change the battery, screw this back on, and then turn the camera back on. It's like, I mean, it's not, listen, that's not like a ton of work, but it's more than I would like for this podcast. I want this podcast to be so easy that I could just film it, sync up the audio, throw it up, you know? I keep a template in my video editor. I thought I saw cop lights for a second. Anyway, I keep a template for the podcast on my video editor. So the title slide and the ending slide are there, along with the intro and outro music. And they're already preset. I just got to adjust them for like where the podcast is. And then there's also like animations. So at the beginning of the podcast, it'll fade in with the video and audio, and then it'll fade out at the end. Just like very simple things like that that are already preset. And I mean, if I could just get a camera that would film this whole thing without, I mean, if the battery dies, sure, that's fine. But it would be ideal if the battery wouldn't die and the camera wouldn't go to sleep. All I'd have to do is literally crop the beginning and end of the footage and audio, sync up the audio and video, save. And that would be so nice. But I don't have money, so I can't get a camera. And I think a lot of podcasts film on GoPros. Leave a comment down below suggesting a camera to use for podcasts, because I don't think the audio is too great on GoPros. I mean, I don't think it's meant to be great. I think the video is what's meant to be great on GoPros. So I'm recording my audio separately, obviously, and I just need some good, crisp video. Which, this isn't too bad, but I've had this camera for so long, and I don't know. It's just gotten some wear and tear over the years, and there's like minor things that have happened to the lens, which 90% of you guys won't notice, but I notice every time. So it would just be nice to have like a 4K GoPro that could record for several hours. Is that even a thing? Can a GoPro film for several hours? Does that even exist? I don't know. I don't know anything about GoPros. But I'm going to turn this off because there's a lot of cops that sit over this way. It was nice while it lasted, though, with the light on me. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. And I'm hesitant to make this any more of a production because I want this thing to last for a long time. You know, I want it to be so easy that there is no excuse for it to ever end. And yeah, you heard me, ever. I want to do this for the foreseeable future. I mean, I said that same thing about my vlogs, and they ended after 2 years. But I mean, like, I still film bits with my friends, and I'm thinking about doing another vlog, which you guys probably don't even know about the vlogs. I've kind of mentioned them. Maybe I'll talk about that on my drive here. So to get into that a little bit, I did a vlog, one video every week for 2 years, and it was crazy. I loved it. I was very inspired by David Dobrik and Casey Neistat, and they are very David Dobrik styled, I guess to say. Like, it's a lot of me and my friends just making jokes and having fun, and it's very comedy heavy. And I'm legitimately proud of that shit, dude. Every week for 2 years, I put out a video, and I think they are all, like, pretty quality. Like, you know, of course there are some that I just cringe when I see. But, dude, I watch them back from time to time, and I still laugh really hard, and I think they're put together really well. There's a bunch of, like, Easter eggs I threw in there. There's like, layers to some of the episodes. And I don't know, just the consistency is really cool to have done. And that's kind of what I'm wanting to do with this. Yeah, the quality here might not be as... Just looked at the camera and I just see pitch black. But... God, I feel bad for it just being completely pitch black. I feel like I have to do this now. Oh, but I'm so scared that some cop is going to see me and I'm going to get pulled over and he's going to ask, "Boy, what the hell are you doing?" And I'm going to have to say, "I'm recording a podcast while I drive." Then I get fucking arrested. Oh, but anyway, yeah, the vlogs. I think they were kind of... I don't think this is me tooting my own horn or anything, but I think they are like a staple of me and my friend group. You know? It's been about 2 years since I stopped. And the reason I stopped is because all of my friends started moving away, and for 2 years, from 2018 to 2020, it was so easy for... I lived right down the street from my friend Dylan. It was so easy for me to, if I was low on footage for the week, I would just show up at his fucking house. I would go ring his doorbell. He would come to the door and he would sit with me in the car and we would just talk about shit and make each other laugh and come up with like funny like little skits to do in the car. for like a couple hours, and it was such a good time, and it was so easy to get video. Now it is, the vlogs would be impossible to do right now. Because, well, I'll get to that. I mean, they stopped because, my friends were all moving away, and it's like, it was just hard for me to get content. And additionally, COVID happened. And I mean, in North Carolina, it's like COVID never really existed anyway. Like, people never really wore masks, and it's like one of those states. But for a while there, it was pretty scary, and like nobody went anywhere, and we were hesitant to even see each other. Like, me and my friends, we were hesitant to leave the house for a few weeks. Like, this was when COVID was really popping off, which is it's interesting. If you watch the vlogs, you can see COVID happen. It's kind of a cool historical subject there, I guess, but. Those are the two main factors why I stopped the vlogs. And as COVID restrictions let up, yeah, I could have started them back, but part of what kept me going, oh, there, you can see me a little bit, getting to some more lights. But part of what kept me going with the vlogs is like, well, I've been doing this every week for 2 years. I can't stop now. And when I stopped for COVID, after a few months, when like stuff was kind of letting up, or not a few months, I guess, but after a while, when things started letting up, and I was seeing my friends more, and I think that people would even ask me, like, okay, are the vlogs going to come back now? And it's just like, no, it's over. Even if I wanted them to come back, it is so hard for me to get footage. I mean, before, I could just show up at Dylan's house, or like go over to Seth's house, or go over to Dexter's house, easy. But now that everyone's kind of moved apart, I mean, I could maybe like make a venture to one of my friends for the day, and considering they're free, and then maybe get some footage. But it's like one of the parts of the vlogs that I would try to keep consistent is not just keeping it. I would never, ever have it just be me in an entire episode. I don't know if that ever happened. And I would really try to refrain from it just being me and one other person. That probably happened a few times, but I did not like that. I wanted a lot of variety. I wanted to have like several people appear in an episode. So, I mean, it's like, yes, I could maybe do the vlogs when things started letting up with COVID, but it would not be anywhere near my standards, which were already, I mean, for a while they had been declining. Not, my standards weren't declining, the quality was dipping beneath my standards, just because, I mean, towards the end of the vlogs, you see it's I mean, who knows if anyone else can see this but me, but it's getting harder and harder for me to put shit together. And it's like I'm not really seeing my friends as much anymore, and there isn't as much happening. There's not as many bits going on. I'm just having to, well, actually, in fact, there's more bits going on because I'm having to draw out this dumbass story where we act something out, and I drag that into like multiple episodes because I'm not able to get enough like normal content, which I shouldn't say dumbass story, because I'm referencing, there's like this Coke lore, not cocaine, Coca-Cola lore, and it's like Dylan had this meme for a very long time that he loved Coke, and it was like his whole personality, right? And we kind of made this story that he was possessed by Coke in a way, that there was something supernatural going on. And we turned it into this whole arc of like, I mean, it started off with him just like brushing his teeth with Coke. We filmed him showering with Coke and shit. And then it turned into this evil thing where Dexter had like said he hated Coke before, I think. And then we made it so like Coke started showing up everywhere, like in the background for Dexter. And then one day Dexter loves Coke and it's really eerie. And then something I don't know. I need to go back and rewatch it. But we shot it like a horror movie. We put a lot of time and effort into it. It's not good, but we think it's funny. Okay. And it's stuff like that I could, if I didn't have footage, I could at the very least, okay, my camera just fell on me again. Y'all can't even see because it's just black here. Okay. There's not any lights out anyway, but as I get on down the highway, maybe there will be some more lighting. But yeah, I would use skits and little bits like that to cover up the fact that I had like no footage, and I mean, okay, a vlog. It's supposed to just be a day in the life, right? There isn't supposed to be that much thought put into it, but that's just my personality. You know, I would put I put everything I do on such a high pedestal that I can never even live up to it. And that's kind of what happened with the vlogs. You know, at first, the vlogs were literally just, I think I had, it wasn't a GoPro, but it was a GoPro knockoff. And it had the worst audio of all time. It sounded so bad, but I would just, I remember I would go out with Dylan and I would just film us doing shit. I mean, you could hardly hear us because the audio was like, and I mean, it would literally just be us at a gas station and then us going into a bookstore and walking around and doing just weird stuff. And then us going to a restaurant and then us just in some empty parking lot at night fucking around. And I would just put music behind it and call it a vlog. It was super simple like that in the beginning. But then, you know, like the David Dobrik inspiration came in. I got, y'all know how I am with getting overly obsessed with people. That happened with David Dobrik, and that's like what changed the vlogs for me, I think. Like I started making them, it was not just us hanging out anymore. What the fuck am I saying? It was not just us hanging out anymore. It was us making jokes, like not just being haha funny. Hold on, I'm fixing the camera here. Not just us naturally being funny, which that was a big portion of it, but there was a lot more of us thinking, like we'd make a joke and then we would re-say it a different way. Or like I would think of something funny and I would say, Dylan, say this. And then I would turn on the camera and make him say it. And then him and I bounce off each other off that for a while. It was like, it wasn't natural anymore. I mean, there were natural parts, but it wasn't 100% natural like it was before, where it was just me and Dylan in a restaurant doing nothing, really, just acting weird for the camera. So that was just another aspect of why it stopped. There was just so much effort that I kept putting towards it, which brings me back to this. And maybe you guys have even noticed, like, I still have this problem where I'm putting together a Google Doc every week now. And yes, it does keep it a little more coherent, and I do remember ideas better from the past week that I can talk about for a while. But I mean, the reason I started this was just so I could, it was just supposed to be a slice of life again. And that's being perverted. Not like that, but it's being like tainted. I'm doing it again. You know, this is just supposed to be me talking. My future children can watch this and it's like they are here beside me in the car. And yet I just get into the content brain mindset of, I need to make this entertaining. I need to be funnier. What's a joke I could say this week? Or what's like with the Halloween thing? Oh my God, that has ruined me, because now I did the Halloween thing once and I really liked how that came out, and I loved getting to just go through that one website with the Halloween prompts and talk about it for a bit, and that took so much time, and I felt like it was so entertaining, and I was able to bounce off that that website so much. Oh, especially the reading those scary stories, you know. I just, after I made that and it was so much fun, I thought, oh, I'm going to do one of these for every holiday now. I'm going to plan this out. And I was just looking at the calendar, like, which holidays can I do this for? And I was like, oh, I could do this every week. And then I had to bring myself back and go, no. That was spooky, scary Halloween special. It's a special for a reason. It's supposed to be special, you know? If I do it every week, it's not special anymore. Oh, so it's, I don't know. This is what I think. This could be total dog shit. I mean, look at the screen. If you're watching, look at this. It's me in my car, and it's so dark you can't even see me. This is dog shit. Why am I even saying if this is dog shit? This is bad. But maybe that is kind of the beauty of it. This is just like, what other podcast has you in the car with me? This is literally like you are in the car with me. There is little to no production aside from this mic, so you guys can hear me okay. I think there's something to that. So, oh man, it's so frustrating. My mindset to shoot like beyond my means. Like, I like that, and I like it in some regards because I make stuff that I'm really proud of, but it's like a toxic way of thinking, dude. Because it permeates every aspect of my life, and it's like I can't have anything simple. Everything's got to be the best, and it's so exhausting more than anything. Anyway, I've no more thoughts on that, but I hope you guys, well, I'm not even, who am I talking to? If you're watching this, I'm talking to you. I hope you are bearing through this. I hope there's something redeemable about this. I could just be completely wasting my time, but hopefully I will not feel that way in the future. Hopefully I will look back on this podcast and think, I'm glad I did that. It wasn't a total waste of time. And I'm still doing it. This is me in the future saying this. I'm still doing that podcast I was doing in the car. But anyway, also, as you can tell, Dexter isn't here. I know, bummer. I had this whole thing planned too. It was going to be so good. Sorry, I don't know why I'm coughing so much. But I was going to set up all of my podcast stuff in the living room and be facing the front door. There's a glass front door. And I was going to have him come over. And he usually just comes up. A lot of times he just walks right in because he just knows I'm right there. So I was going to have him walk up, just walk right in, and I hand him the mic and say, hello, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Tyler, and I'm here with, and I point at him and say, Dexter Simmons. And like without any warning or anything, I was going to have him immediately be on the podcast and just sit him down immediately and us just talk for like an hour. And it was going to be I just know it would have caught him so off guard. And but he's the kind of person that would have just rolled with it. So, oh, that would have been so good. And it would have been so like pure too. Like it would have literally been from right when he walked in the front door. Oh, that would have been so sick. Which, I mean, it's not out of the question. It could still happen. But I don't know if I'll be watching my family's house again anytime soon. So it's kind of just like, who knows when I'll have the chance to do that again? I don't know. Hey, maybe maybe I could ask him to hang out, and when he gets into my car, I do a thing like this, except I have the camera on both of us, and we do an in the car podcast that I just bombard him with. Okay, maybe I'll do that. But yeah, I will get him on another time. And I still want to get Jade on for when we do, we're going to analyze the album her and I did, or are actively doing together, because it's not done yet. But before I left home, you guys may have noticed, the last podcast, when I left, was it still a little bit light outside? No, I think it was like pitch black, just like when I left today. But I'm leaving significantly later today. Basically, I went to go see, my sister does cheerleading, and she cheers for her middle school. And I went to the middle school to watch the basketball team that she was cheering for. So the basketball team on that team is one of her childhood friends who lives down the street from us. So it's like, oh, double reason to go see. You know, I get to go see my sister and my sister's friend. So it's my old middle school, first of all. That will come in later. But it is scary how into the game I get. You know, I'm not a sports guy. I played sports as a kid. I played every sport as a kid: soccer, baseball, football, basketball. And it's just, you know, I was a very timid kid, and I've always been this way, where I can't stand all the bullshit. Like, for example, as the kids were coming out tonight, the cheerleaders lined up, and they all made like a tunnel with their pom-poms, and each kid got their name called, and they ran through the tunnel onto the court. And I don't know. It's like, I wasn't really thinking this out of my own perspective, but I was just thinking, damn, if I was a kid on that court having to do that, I would hate it. It's just like, I'm not here for these theatrics. I'm here to play basketball. Why are we doing this? This is so stupid. This is such a waste of time. Let's cut the theatrics. I'm here to play basketball. And you know, I don't, it's not like I'm criticizing them. I don't give a shit. But I just know if I was a kid out there having to go through and do all that, I would not have liked it. And it's like, maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. Maybe it's like some form of autism or something that I have. I'm not gonna self-diagnose myself or anything. Or maybe it's normal. I shouldn't say normal. Maybe it's just like, well, okay. Is it wrong to say say the word normal in that regard? Because, I mean, I think I'm weird that I don't give a shit about that theatrics, but maybe I'm not weird, is what I'm saying. Maybe everybody feels that way. Well, clearly not. Because people still do it. I don't know. Let's get away from this. It's just like shit like that as a kid, I could not stand. Like, some of my family still makes fun of me or pokes at me because when I played baseball, I mean, I was in the outfield because, okay, I'll get to the because in a minute, but I was in the outfield and no balls ever went my way Like, never. So I just, at one point, I didn't give a shit. I just sat down in the outfield and started fucking around in the grass. And, like, there were, like, these little flowers that I was just pulling up weeds out there. And they made fun of me, and the coach is probably like, oh, damn it, Tyler's sitting out there in the outfield. He's just sitting on his ass. But, dude, nothing happened. I would stand there. My feet would hurt. I would just be watching the kids bat, and nothing would ever come my way. So I just stopped giving a shit. It's like that. I mean, I didn't really care what people thought of me. If I didn't give a shit, I didn't give a shit. So it's scary that, you know, I think it is apparent that I have somewhat of an addictive personality, or that, is it even an addictive personality? It's like an OCD personality, I feel like I just, like, where I take everything way over the top. You know, if someone had, if I was just in the right setting as a kid, in terms of sports, there is a 100% chance that I would have pursued that forever, right? Because I just don't think I was challenged in the right way. Okay, it's maybe not that I was challenged, because I was definitely challenged, but I didn't have a why. WHY. I didn't have a reason. Like, to harken back to me not giving a shit, the coaches would get all into it, and they'd be like, y'all have to do this, y'all have to, and I would be like, no, I don't. I don't give a fuck. I don't have to do anything. I don't give a fuck. And it's like, y'all ain't losers, y'all are gonna win. And I'm like, honestly, I don't care if we win or not. It's like, there was no reason for me to care. But if that spark had been lit within me in a different way, like on the setting, like maybe if I had friends in the sports, and we all had to come together and be like, okay, we gotta win this. Like, we're the best ones here. We can win this. Dude, I would have been obsessed with it. I just know. And maybe I would be like a sports guy. Oh my, kind of glad I'm not, but maybe I would be ripped or something and be in school for sports right now. Who knows? But I mean, I can just see that. The reason I'm saying this is because I can see that side coming out of me when I watch. This is just middle school basketball, and I'm getting so into it. It may not be apparent on the outside because I'm just kind of sitting there watching the game, but my hands are getting so sweaty. I am like, when our team makes a basket, I'm like, yes, fuck yes. And I'm so into it, dude. And I'm internally pointing out, like, oh yeah, oh man, that's where that kid messed up. You know, they're not making their shots out there, but their defense is really great. Their defense is great, but they just need to be making more shots, and they could really excel. And you know, I'm analyzing all this shit and getting way into it, and I'm like, man, I gotta get a basketball. I gotta start playing. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just sports. That's why people like sports, right? It's so easy to get into and get engaged with like that. But I really think I could have been, like, under the right circumstances, been into it more as a kid. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter anyway. I would much rather be where I'm at right now than a sports head. Being a sports guy sounds kind of fucking annoying. Sports Tyler? Don't know if I'd like that, Tyler. But additional to, like, being, like, thinking about sports as a kid and, you know, getting really into the game, it's at my old middle school. This is where the game took place. And man, every time I go there, because I go watch my sister cheer Not like all the time, but it's like every now and then. And it is so weird being back at my old middle school. Like, dude, I don't know what it is. The entire time I was there, I was thinking of this. And every time I go there, this thought comes back into my mind. It's like something about the place really like makes me start thinking of this, but I just get this weird feeling. And I was trying to pinpoint what is this feeling? What does this mean? Like, is this a good feeling or is this a bad feeling? I truly don't know. But it's almost like a feeling of nostalgia, but I don't know why in the hell I would be nostalgic about middle school, because those were some of the worst years of my life, and having to deal with the most crooked and awful teachers of all time. Oh, great. The video is so blurry. Okay, come on back, baby. Come on back to clear. Come on back to clear land. But it's just some what is going? Oh, here we go. Some of the worst, most crooked teachers ever. Some of the most heartbroken moments of my life. And just the sheer amount of crippling anxiety that I didn't even know until the past year I was experiencing as a child. But it's like, looking back on now, I'm like, oh fuck, I was incredibly anxious. Like, something was wrong with me. It's like, I was shy, but I wouldn't just say I was shy. I would not say a word to anybody for weeks at a time. Nobody knew me in middle school until I met Austin and Alex and like my friends. It's just crazy. And it's like, why would I be nostalgic for that time period? That time period sucked, dude. But I don't know. It's like, it's almost like a melancholy feeling. Like, it is so hard to describe the feeling, dude. And what I was thinking tonight when I was at that game was this. I don't know if this is weird or not, but I think this analogy I came up with might describe it better. It's like, I see all the other middle school kids there, like my sister and her friends, and they're all out there to see the game. And it's so funny because you look at them and they're all like, it's like there's a switch inside of them that has been turned on, right? And they are like people now. Before they were just children, and they are still children, but you can see like who they're gonna be when they grow up now. You know, it's like when you see a kid, it's like, they're just a fucking kid. But with these kids, like in middle school, is when you really start becoming somebody, you know? And it's just so weird looking at them and seeing that, and they are such like a blank slate. And it is just almost sad to me. Because I'm reflecting back. Like, I used to be there too. I used to be just this clean slate. And just over time, and this is going to sound so dark, but it's like over time, you get all this wear and tear on that clean slate. And you get these scars and this trauma that you just accumulate, this baggage over time. And I look at the people who were in every grade with me from kindergarten to senior year of high school. And it's like, I grew up with these people. So I never talked to 90% of these people, but hold on, I'm getting no, I'm not texting and driving. I'm just opening my phone. because I'm getting a message from my mom. Oh no. She's letting me know I forgot something. Oh God. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, it's just so weird seeing all of these kids in that stage of their life and knowing like that blank slate is just going to accumulate like trauma. And that shit never really goes away, you know? Like, it's like the purity of childhood. I'm watching the precipice of it before it is gone, if that makes sense. And and maybe that's part of it. It's like kind of sad to see in a way, because I don't know. Yeah, I look at all these people that I grew up with, and I don't even talk to them now, but it's like we all have some sort of bond because we all grew up together. We all had to spend 8 hours a day, 5 days a week with each other in classes, and it's so weird that I just don't talk to any of them. I mean, I definitely have friends from school, but it's like most of them I just never will ever talk to again, but we still have this like weird bond. And I don't know, I think about them from back in middle school, and then I see like pictures of them now, and maybe it's just some, I don't know, it's like they're all grown up, and it's not that they're not doing good or like off on their own doing good, but it's just, I just know like a lot of them have been through so much. It's like people I don't even talk to. I just know they've been through a lot. And I don't know. It's just sad to me. This is really bleak and dark, but yeah, every time I'm in there, I just think back to like, damn, yeah, when I was here, sure, I hated it, but it was like we all had that clean slate, and now we're all grown up. It's been like so long, and I don't know, dude. It's like also when I see these like middle schoolers, there's some kind of aura to them. Like, I think this just kind of coincides with what I was saying before. It's like that switch that they are like people now. They are like sentient beings. Well, I guess they were before, but it's like now they are. You can see the adult that is growing inside of them in their minds, you know? Because I'll talk to some, like my sister and some of her friends, and I can almost visualize their personality when they get older and like what they're gonna do over the next few years as they go through school. And it's just so interesting and two, terrifying, because it's like, what is that? What is that bridge that they are on to becoming a human being? Oh man, it's just and I don't even like seek out these thoughts whenever I go back to my old middle school. It just kind of happens. Like, it's something about being there that takes me back, and I'll get so many, just like from being there, I'll get so many memories that start popping up. So many things that I haven't thought about in years, and just so many feelings of, like, it's hard for me to picture my childhood home. Like, I mean, I can definitely picture it pretty well, but when I'm back at a place like that, I get the feeling of my childhood home. And that is a weird feeling I never feel. It's like something like that happens every time I go there. Man. And that's what makes me think maybe it's nostalgia in a way. Because it's like I am looking back. Nostalgia's looking back fondly on the past, though, and it's like maybe in a way I'm looking back fondly on it, but what is it when you look back solemnly on the past? You know? Is it depression? I don't know. It's so weird. And that's the only way I can describe it, and that's such a poor way of describing it. I wish I could articulate it better. And I'm sure somebody out there could articulate it 1,000 times better than me, but it is just the weirdest, strangest feeling. Also, I did this coming home, but check it out. Oh, you can't even see it. Dang it. You can see downtown Charlotte right on the horizon. God, I can't believe I forgot my toiletries. Like literally my razor, my deodorant, my toothbrush, my toothpaste. I have another toothbrush at my apartment, so I'm not really concerned about that. And I'm pretty sure I can find a deodorant. That won't be too difficult. But it's just like, yeah, I could buy some more, but I'm just so broke right now that I can't really afford to buy more. And oh God, I talked about this kind of last week, but it just sucks so bad being as poor as I am. Like, it was making me tear up when I left home because my mom was like giving me all this stuff to take with me. Because she knows how broke I am, and she keeps giving me money for doing like next to nothing, and I tell her no, but I don't want to say no because I actually really do need the money. And it's like it was making me like basically cry in my driveway after like she left to go do something right when I was leaving. I was setting this shit up, and I'm just like, this fucking sucks, dude. I mean, I'm tearing up right now thinking about this. It sucks so bad. And everybody tells me like, yeah, it's not forever. I know this isn't forever, but this is some hard shit to go through. And like doing all this school stuff, like I only have myself to blame for this, first of all. Okay. Like, one, I mean, I decided to pursue this degree. I knew it was going to be hard to get through this. I mean, granted, I didn't know it would be this hard, but I did choose to pursue this. And additionally, like, man, that stats class that I have that is so hard. We had an exam due last night, which we had a week to do it. And I don't know, I just have had so much going on this week. I mean, that's not really an excuse. I have had free days that I could have started on it, but I didn't fully start it until the day it was due. Totally my fault, I know. And it's such a stupid thing to do, but it's just like my brain. I just couldn't get up the energy to do it any sooner. And I was hardly getting up the energy in the last day to do it. And it's so fucking hard, dude. Each question is like, it takes me hours just because I type something as like a lot of coding to do. I type something in and it doesn't work. And there's no reason why it shouldn't work. And I just sit there and stare at my screen for like 45 minutes and just like, I'm like, why this no work? Why could this, what? There's no reason why this shouldn't work. This should, what the fuck? It's like you type into a calculator 1 + 1 = error. And you're just sitting there like, why? This should be easy. This should be 1 + 1 = 2. Why does it say error? And it's like that. Problem like that. One after another, after another, after another. And it's just because I don't know how to code. And like, coding shit is so foreign to me. And so we get to the, there's 5 questions where you have to do this like long, you have to pick how to analyze this data and then analyze it. And they're like long form questions, right? I bullshit 3 out of 5 of them. One of them I feel confident about, but 3 of them I just totally am like, I don't fucking know. And then the 4th one, I didn't even get to submit. We got to the end of the time, and I just submitted. It was like 11:58 p.m. and I was like, this will not be submitted if I don't submit it incomplete. So I just threw it in there and submitted the 4 questions I had. And today I just asked the teacher, like, hey, listen, here's the question I didn't get in last night. If you don't want to grade it, that is completely fine. I understand. But yeah, it is. I didn't say that exactly. I said it in a completely different way, but oh my God. Not to mention there was a 20 question multiple choice part of the test that I got a decent amount of them right, but I know I probably got quite a few wrong, and they were each 5 points each. And I was too afraid to look at my score on that one. I just couldn't even look, dude. Oh my God. And I have felt like such shit about that all day. Because, I mean, if I had started earlier, maybe I could have figured this shit out, asked my teacher questions, and it's like... But last Wednesday, I went on a 12-hour trip with my class. Thursday, I had to do all these classes. Friday morning, I had to do a class and then drive home, which I filmed. Well, I didn't even drive home that morning. I drove home that night. And then Saturday, I guess I could have started it then. Didn't. And then Sunday, it was due. So... I feel like such a piece of shit. And it was like the last exam. So if I could have just told myself, see, it seems so daunting, like so much work to do. But if I could have just told my brain, this is the last one, just get through this, just power through this, and you can chill. You're done with the class, basically. And now I'm just like fucked. Because, I mean, I have like an 80 in the class because I've just done so bad. I don't know if that's bad to most people, but I try to get like all A's. But I have an 80, and that's probably only going to bring me down. Hopefully I don't fucking fail because of that. I don't know if that would even be possible, but God, it's so just nerve-wracking. So stressful, and I felt like such a piece of shit because of that. And I felt like a piece of shit also because I think I've talked about my weight on other episodes, right? I am on SSRIs. I take Zoloft and Buspar. And you know, that's a whole story maybe I could get into of why I'm on that in the first place, but I've been taking it for about a year, and I've always heard that they make you gain, and a lot of people, they make you gain weight, all right? So I kind of anticipated that, but I wasn't gaining weight at first when I first got on them. I was just the same. But then I started working out, and I was gaining weight, but I attributed it to gaining muscle because I was actually gaining like more muscle than I've ever had in my life. So it made sense. And I was trying to bulk up on calories too so I could gain muscle faster. So it just all made sense. And I talked about this in the last episode, but I stopped working out. Or was it the last episode? I don't know. But yeah, I stopped working out. Muscle went away. The weight stayed. And I just keep gaining more weight. It's terrifying, honestly. It's like, not like I'm eating particularly bad. I'm so broke that I am unable to really eat good, like how I would like to, but I still don't think I'm eating horribly, right? It's definitely not good, but it's not like really, really bad. And I still try to be active when I can. You know, I still like go run around the track and go to the gym. I mean, it's definitely not consistent like I was. Like I was going like every day of the week before, but I still go out when I can. And yet I'm still here gaining weight like crazy, dude. Like, let me put this in perspective, because to a lot of people, you might just be like, oh, no, you're probably not gaining much weight or whatever. No, this is a shit ton of weight, dude. This is the most I've ever weighed in my life, by far. So, before I started my medication, 180. And that was even like kind of a lot for me, because I liked to be around 175. And, you know, I like to be, before I was trying to get to be 165, but then I got up to 175 and I was like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. Then I got up to 180 and I was like, okay, fine with this. And that was before I started taking medication. After I got on medication and started gaining weight, I went up to 190 and I was like, not really liking this, but manageable. Then I got up to 200 and I was like, okay, don't like this. Then I got up to 210. Then I was like, okay, I don't know what to do here. And then I got up to 220. That was a few weeks ago. Now I'm up to 230 pounds, dude. I weigh 50 pounds more over the past year, or than I did last year. Dude, that is so much weight. God, and it's just so frustrating, because I don't think I'm really eating that much, and I guess I can attribute it to the medicine, but dude, it's like it affects my self-esteem for sure, because I've started to have to wear extra large shirts now. I just don't fit in anything else. In my pants, dude, my pants, I have to wear huge pants that would have been enormous on me before, like barely fit me now. And that is just so weird to experience over the course of 1 year. New clothes I bought in November of last year for this job I did come nowhere near close to fitting me. Like 4 inches. The button is 4 inches away from the hole. Yeah. Oh, God, dude. And I don't feel too bad about it. Like, it definitely affects my self-esteem, and I have to sit a certain way now because I hate when my stomach shows, like, with my shirt. Like, when my shirt clings against my stomach and you can fucking see all of me. But H3H3, Ethan Klein, it's funny, like, he kind of makes me feel better about it in a way, because he's experiencing the same problem, so it makes me feel like less alone. He got on SSRIs and then he gained a bunch of weight, and he handles it really well. Like, he doesn't like having the weight, obviously, and he talks about trying to lose the weight, but he can joke about it at least, and he talks about his experience a lot, and that really helps me, at least, because it's enabled me to kind of joke about it myself and talk to people about it. Like, I was telling my mom before I left, I was like, yeah, I weigh the most I've ever weighed before. This kind of sucks. And kind of joked about it, but I think if I didn't watch this podcast, H3H3 Productions, wait, the H3 podcast, sorry. If I didn't watch that and didn't have him speaking out about this, I would definitely be way more self-conscious. But yeah, I'm glad he puts himself out there like that. And just my luck, you know, my Apple Watch kicked the bucket a few weeks ago. And that's what I use to track activity, you know? Like, it would encourage me to go to the track and I could measure, or like it would count how many laps I did and like how far I ran and my heart rate and shit like that. And it was just, that would encourage me to go. And since it broke, I just, like, I'll go every now and then, but it's not nearly as much as I went before. So my mom let me borrow her Fitbit, so hopefully that will get me back out there. I just need to honestly, like, I don't really have a choice of diet. Maybe I could just get some super, super cheap stuff like celery and try to live off of that. I don't know. How unsatisfying and like literally depressing will that be, just to have a long day and then come home and just eat fucking celery until you're full? Like, I think that would legitimately take a toll on me. I need something warm to eat at the end of a long day, like a nice hot meal, you know. But I would just love to get rid of this weight, and it's so, I do think I've had body dysmorphia to an extent, because I look at myself from last year and I just think, oh my God, I was so fucking skinny. And back then I thought I was fat, dude. I thought I was fat as fuck. And I mean, where I'm at now, it's like, well, the tables do turn, don't they? So I just see all of these like athlete dudes. I don't know where I've seen them, but I will screenshot photos of them, because it's not like they're super ripped or anything, but they definitely have like muscle and they're toned, and I just want to be toned. You know, I don't want muscles or to be ripped, because I think that is unrealistic. Being like shredded, I don't think I have the time or energy to do that. But to get toned, you know, to where like I don't know how to describe it. Like, I just want, while I'm at rest, my muscles to be apparent that they are there, if that makes sense. And I don't know. The only way to do that, I think, is to just be super active, but I don't know. I don't know how to be active, dude. I mean, I run, but what's that doing for me? I so wish I had a sport that I was into enough and I thought mattered enough and would keep me active, because it's just like that no bullshit thing that I was talking about before. Like, even if I did a sport now, like if it was for a local league, I would just be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Who gives a fuck? You know, I do the game's over, and we're done. Like, there's nothing meaningful about this to me. I just played a game, and it's like, I don't care to win. It's just a game. You know? I feel like I would need my friends and all of us to get hyped up and like go in together, like as a group. But I don't know, man. What, I keep saying I don't know, because I don't know what to do. How am I gonna lose weight? Somebody help me lose weight. Maybe the secret is getting off SSRIs, and maybe the weight will go away. But I'm just afraid that I'm in for the long haul with this. Like, until I can afford to, like, buy and make healthy food, I think I might just be fucked until then. Unless I start working out a lot again. But it's like, running at the track, I feel like has never really helped me lose weight, that is. Like, I'll notice my stamina increase over time, but my weight will stay the same. And you could argue that's what I put in my body, but I feel like what I put in my body doesn't change, and yet my weight stays the same no matter how much I run. Like, I was consistently running every other day of the week for like months at a time one time. And I'm pretty sure my diet was the same. And yet my weight stayed the same. Why is that? Why is that? Maybe I don't know. I was doing a lot of running too. I was running like 7 miles. Is that a lot? Okay, I don't know. I would spend an hour running, I should say. So it would sometimes leak over to be an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know if that's a lot or not a lot or what, but I just have never really seen results. Maybe I just need to go on like a strict, like, raw produce diet. Is that a thing? I don't know. Like, okay, maybe not produce, but like, I don't want prepackaged shit. Maybe it just needs to be straight up like, if you can't pick it off a tree, pull it out of the ground, or shoot and kill it, I will not eat it. Does that make sense? Well, I guess that's anything. But okay, maybe I should rephrase that. Maybe it should be, if it doesn't look like how it did after it was picked or killed, I shouldn't eat it. Maybe that's more accurate to what I'm trying to say, because like grapes, apples, beans, you like when you get those like raw produce items, there isn't much altering to those that goes on. Or like just straight up chicken breast, raw chicken breast. There's not too much that goes on into like changing that. But when you buy like fried chicken with all that added shit and all that grease, then you get the unhealthy shit added in. So I don't know. All of that stuff is so expensive, and I just don't know what to make with it all. I could just have it as its own thing, but I feel like that would get boring after a while. Oh, I don't know. But I do need to start losing this weight, bro. I feel like such a piece of shit. But I'll get over it. I'll get over it. So the battery on my camera is about to die. My voice is kind of hurting. I don't like how much it hurt last time I came down here, so I'm gonna take a brief break and then change out the battery on my camera if I need to. And if my voice feels better, I'm gonna come back. If anything, I'll do the outro at home. So I'll see you guys then. Bye. Bye. Ta-ta. Hello. I'm back. Yeah, my voice was just getting kind of tired there. Last time it hurt so bad. So, just wanted to kind of try to prevent that, honestly. Yeah, I'm back now. I stopped for gas. I am actually pretty far down the road. As you can see by the shaking camera, the camera that is going absolutely crazy. I'm off the highway. So, yeah, we're just going to have to deal with the camera going everywhere for a bit. Here we go. Holding the camera to make sure it... Okay. But the lucky thing about being over here is that there's a lot of light. So you can actually... It's not just a black screen. But yeah, we have about 20 minutes left, so I figured I'd do the little bit of here, a little bit of this, and a little bit of that. And oh man, gas $3.09 over there. I just paid for gas that was $2.99. That doesn't fucking matter. Anyway, man, I'm so not ready to go back to school tomorrow. I'm just fucking done with this semester. It kind of coincides with what I was saying earlier. It's like I'm so burnt out on all of this stuff, dude. Like it's like I really need this Christmas break that's coming up because I'm so worn down. It's like the classes aren't even really that hard. It's just the people, I don't know. Like a big factor in it is the people that I am underneath, the people that tell me what to do, are so hypocritical. Like they set standard. Okay, and I know this is a thing in the corporate world that the bosses set standards that even they don't stick to, but it's such bullshit. Like it just irritates me so much. And like I don't know, it feels wrong. It feels so wrong. And sure, maybe it is wrong and maybe you just have to deal with it, but I feel like you shouldn't have to deal with it. That's so dumb. It's just, it sucks, dude. But I guess I don't have to deal with it for too much longer, and hopefully next semester it will be better. I'm just, my tolerance level is so low, and I'm just ready to be gone, to have everything I need, have my degree, and move away. I would love that. But as you can probably hear, it's kind of raining right now, which I thought would make this drive a lot longer, but it felt really short. I think partially because I was doing the podcast. The podcast makes things go by so fast. Like, last time I drove home, I was shocked at how fast it went by. And also, this is going to be kind of weird. Last time, the battery didn't even make it home, but since I took that little break from my voice, pretty sure the battery is going to make it all the way home. So this will be such a good, like, neat and tidy ending. You got to see me get in the car, be on the road for the whole podcast, and then I'll be getting out of the car. It's going to be sick. I don't know if that's really sick, but, yeah. I've been dying over this. So I think I've mentioned before that I listen to Noel Miller and Cody Ko's podcast, Tiny Meat Gang. And I've listened to all the newer episodes, so I've just kind of gone back to the very first ones, and I've been listening to them in order to like catch up to modern day. And it's so interesting because so I listen to the newer episodes as they come out, but I also listen to the older ones in order. And there are jokes that they will make, like referencing old memes in the newer ones, and I get to hear those memes come into fruition. Like in their intro, there's this like speaking part that comes from an old episode, and I just got to that old episode, and it's so weird because, okay, in the intro to their show, there's all these little clips, and they're from old episodes, just little clips from old episodes. And so it's just funny because I'll be listening to like episode 25 and I'll be like, oh shit, that's okay, that's in their intro in the future. But there's this one bit and it's been making me laugh so hard. I'll say it to myself and laugh so hard. They watched this video about like crypto, like buying stock, crypto stock or something. And the joke is that there's somebody, you know, every time you buy stock, it seems like they crash the market, and every time you sell, that's when it goes up. So it's like somebody's working directly against you, and it does feel like that sometimes. Back when I used to do stock shit, but in the video they watched, there's a guy just like fucking around with stock, and he's like, yes, there's somebody watching him, by the way. Like, yes, he just bought stock. Crash it. Oh, he's he just bought loads of stock. Crash it. And they apply that to their lives, and I just will narrate my own life like this. Like if I spill my fucking drink, I'll go, Tyler's feeling good about his life. Spill his milk. Crash it. I was like, oh great, things. I'm finally feeling better, and I spill my fucking milk. Oh, he's feeling bad about his life. Pump it. Oh, okay. Wow. All right. I'm making money on crypto. He's feeling better. Crash it. It's just so... You guys, you gotta watch it. Actually, I'm gonna make the executive decision right now. This might be a little premature, but that is my rec for the day. I don't know what you can type in to find it. You could probably just go to YouTube and type in Tiny Meat Gang, Pump It, or Crash It. Actually, you know what? I'll link the clip in the description of this video. It's so funny. It's based off of a meme video that they watched, but like the way they reference it and the way they apply it to their own lives is funnier than the meme video. And I don't think you have to know that much about crypto to get it, but it's just the episodes I'm listening to from them are from 2018, and back in those days of their podcast, they use this voice a lot, this like foreign European guy voice a lot. And Noel, he went on a trip to Amsterdam. What the fuck? I can't talk. And he was saying that the flight attendant, I don't know how they got to this, but there's the way the flight attendant was talking was like interesting in some way. I forget. I'm not doing this justice, but they get to the point where they say that it's like the flight attendant is a DJ, and he's like, buckle your seatbelts. Please leave your tray tables up and prepare for the bass. And you just gotta watch that one too. I'll include that in my rec. But anytime I go anywhere, I think of that as well. Like, let's see. Maybe you're at the doctor's office, and he goes, "Yes, you're very sick." Oh, okay, you know what? I'm not a fucking comedian. I can't do this shit. They're so much funnier than I am. Just go watch their clip. Why am I even trying to do this? There's no way it could be any better than theirs. That's my executive rec for the day. Tiny Meat Gang, specifically the Pump It and Crash It and Get Ready for the Bass. I'll link those in the description because God, it's so fucking funny. But I'm actually a little bit concerned right now. Maybe not really concerned, but just confused because I'm only 9 minutes away. But I have no idea where I'm at. Actually, I think I know where I'm at. And it's just weird that I'm on this section of the highway because normally I come in a different way. But, yeah. Okay. I'm so terrified that I'll look over and I actually won't be recording my video or I won't be recording my audio, but everything looks fine. So, as I was kind of mentioning earlier, I do want to have a special for different holidays, but I'm not going to go overboard with it. You know, I think it was good to have a Halloween special. I kind of had a Thanksgiving special. I don't know if I would really consider that a special. I planned on eating food while I did the podcast, but I just got so caught up in what I was talking about, I just put my food back in the fridge and didn't. But I definitely do want to do a Christmas special. I have some things planned to talk about that I think are really interesting. And I don't know. It's Christmas time. Christmas is like my favorite holiday. Actually, it's between Christmas and Halloween for my favorite holiday, but I think it's got to be Christmas just because there's such a magical feeling surrounding Christmas, and it's such a happy time of year. Yeah, but I have a bunch of different ideas for things we could talk about, like favorite favorite Christmas movie, favorite Christmas song. There's some Christmas stories that I want to go over. For example, I don't want to get into it too much because I want to talk about it for that special, but have you guys ever heard of pretty sure it was World War I? No, man, it was one of the world wars. God, it's got to be the First World War, where there was a ceasefire between the Americans and the Germans, I believe, and because it was Christmas, and there's like a whole story where it's Christmas Day, everybody just stopped shooting, and then they joined each other out on the battlefield for Christmas, and then the next day the gunshots started again, and I don't know, there's just something so magical about that. I will have all the facts ready for the Christmas special, so I'll know, like, I have a video to show as well, because it brought a tear to my eye when I watched it, but we'll get into that on the Christmas special. But man, how crazy is that? Oh, the camera. Sorry, I can't talk. The camera was falling there. Oh man. I really need to go into Walmart, but I don't know if I highly doubt they're open right now. Man, okay. Why is it faced over there? Come on. But yeah, anyway, the reason I think it was World War I and not World War II is because World War I, like, yeah, there were some big conflicts going on, but I feel like it wasn't as bad as World War II. Like, the severity of what caused the wars, right? Like, I feel like the execution of millions of Jewish people, well, not even just Jewish people, the execution of millions of innocent people is way more severe than what the world was fighting about in World War One. You know, there was a variety of reasons that caused the world wars, but I just feel like if it was World War II, the hatred that the world that some of the world had towards Nazis, you know, it doesn't fucking matter if it was Christmas or not. I kind of doubt that they would have had any kind of ceasefire when that was going on, when the genocide of millions of innocent lives was going on. I doubt that was the yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna say World War One. But anyway, that's not even really that relevant, I guess. It's just so crazy to me also that war is real. It's that's such a privilege to say, by the way. I know that. But it's just, it doesn't seem real, dude. Like, I've kind of talked about this with some of my friends, but I feel like that just couldn't happen. Well, okay, it definitely could happen, and it is actively happening today, but I want to believe that that couldn't happen today. You know, and we're so outraged with like what Russia's doing to Ukraine right now, and understandably so, but I mean, in that regard, it seems like it's kind of just Russia fucking with them, and everybody else in the world is like, what the fuck are you doing, right? So I don't know if there could be a world war unless, I mean, I don't know, because wars are typically super powerful people telling poor people to give up their lives. You know, it's like that System of a Down song. This is not a great place to start on this serious note, but like, why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always send the poor? And that's so fucking true. It's like, who suffers the consequences of war? The fucking poor, the people who probably don't even want to be in the war. And I feel like with how connected we are in the world today, I feel like we don't need, unless there's some country just straight up murdering people, which is definitely happening today, yeah, sure. But I mean, like on the level of the Holocaust, I just don't know if we would, like, could we gather soldiers? If you tried to draft people, I mean, I just feel like we're so connected. We could be like, no, we're not going to do this. Why would none of us want to go fight this war? And who knows, maybe I'm ignorant, and maybe people did that in previous wars. I mean, there were definitely a ton of people against the previous wars we were thrown into. But it's like, and I don't know if this makes any kind of difference, but we are like so connected, more connected than we've ever been today. Who knows if that makes a difference? But I feel like it does. I feel like it really does. Like, I could see there being like TikTok trends saying like, hi, I'm American, and hi, I'm British, or something, you know, any other country, and we don't want to fight each other, so we're not going to the war. Dodge the fucking draft, you know, some shit like that. It's like, if these people, if these rich people in power want to go to war, then they can fight it out themselves, you know? Why the fuck would they send us? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being totally ignorant. I most likely am being just ignorant on the subject, and stupidly or dangerously overly hopeful. What's the word I'm trying to look for here? Way too hopeful, I should just say. But oh, I'm sorry. This is such a dead air moment. I am actually pulling in the parking lot right now. Ooh, premium parking spot too. Oh, what? Oh, I thought it was a handicap spot at first. Actually, there's this bike parked in the handicap spot over here. Kind of doubt if you're handicapped you can ride a bike. But who knows, you know. Who knows? Okay, well, this was fun. This has been real. This has been fun. Okay, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for coming with me on this drive. Oh man. It's midnight already. I gotta wake up early. And I also gotta bring all my stuff inside. Dude. So worn out. But you know what? Sorry, I was waiting for that thing to stop beeping. But gotta stay positive. Been trying so hard to stay positive lately. Okay, well, let's go ahead and end it. I'll give you some light. Okay, hope you guys can hear me. Let's see what I talk about. Coming of age in middle school, forever. Fuck war, forever. Wiretap, forever. Bye, guys. Thank you for riding with me. I'll see you guys in the next one when I drive back home. Probably this weekend in a few days. Bye. Bye. See you guys later. Bye. See you later. Ta-ta. Bye. I said bye, guys. Bye.
Stop.